Well, hello friends of the interwebs, my name is Clemens. I wanted to start a little video series about how you can write smart contracts directly on Bitcoin. So let's get started. I'm in an empty directory here. So our first thing is we run npm init to create an empty packages.json file. And so we got our packages.json file, and we're also going to create a file index.mjs. Make sure to use the MJS extension so we can make use of all the beautiful ES6 magic. And so the next step is to install the Bitcoin computer software. Bitcoin computer. Okay, and so while that's doing its thing, we can start working on index.js. First thing we got to do is we got to import Bitcoin computer from Bitcoin computer. Okay, next we need a Bitcoin computer instance that's going to allow us to deploy smart contracts onto the Bitcoin blockchain. So we just create a JavaScript object called computer is equal to new computer. Use the constructor of the Bitcoin computer library. It takes one argument called a seed, which is any BIP39, I think it is, mnemonic seed phrase. You can get that from your wallet. And so now that we have that, we can start working on our smart contracts. So smart contracts for the Bitcoin computer are very, very easy. They're just vanilla JavaScript classes. So let's just write the simplest class we can think of, which is just a counter class. Okay, so the counter class has one constructor, which does nothing other than to initialize one variable n to 0. And then, if you want to have a counter, you better have an increment function. And what it does is it just, increases the value of our n property by 1. Okay, so that's our, first smart contract for Bitcoin. As you can see, it's a completely normal JavaScript class. So let's go ahead and deploy this guy. So what we do is, so usually if we wanted to create an instance of this class, we would just write counter is equal to new counter, and that would create an instance on your local memory. But if you want to create an instance on the on the Bitcoin blockchain, what you write is computer.new, and you pass in the counter class as an argument. And that's it for now. So now we have our Bitcoin computer instance, and we can sol.log the property n of this guy. And we'd expect this to log the number 0, because it gets initialized to 0 up here in the constructor. And then we'd call a function. So we do counter.inc, and then if we were to call console.log counter n again, we'd expect the number 1 to be logged this time. Okay, so there's one little thing to note here. So when you deploy a smart contract like this, what happens is, transaction gets broadcast to the Bitcoin blockchain, has to be distributed to all the miners. It takes a little, a couple of seconds of time. And so we need to await whenever we deploy a new smart contract using the computer new keyword. And then the same thing is the case for function calls. They also get recorded on the blockchain. So we gotta await on all function calls as well. But that's really the only difference between sort of writing normal JavaScript code and writing a smart contract for the Bitcoin computer. And now there's a little tiny bit of thing we got to do here. We cannot use await. This is just a JavaScript thing. We can't use await on the top level. So we need a self-invoking function here, or immediately something function. And I usually get this wrong on the first try. And it needs to be an async function so that we can use await in there. Pop all this stuff into our self-invoking function, and well, let's see what happens. So we got to run this. When you want to run this node, you got to run this with the experimental modules flag, so that we can use mostly the await keyword, I guess. Index.mjs. So fingers crossed that this works. Nope, okay, I need 2 minuses here. Never works out of the box. Okay, now I got this stupid thing wrong again. I think these parentheses need to go out here. Yeah, that makes more sense. So let's see what happens. Okay, and Looks like it's working. It's logging the number 0 and it's logging the number 1. Hopefully. Here we go. Okay, so we just deployed a smart contract and we updated the smart contract, and it was all done completely in JavaScript. Okay, so now since you know how JavaScript works, you can do whatever you want. You can just start playing around with it, and pretty easy to use. Okay, well, thank you very much for your attention, and I'll be back soon with more. Goodbye.